What's good? What's good? I am back. Yours truly, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and much, much more. Today, I'm going to react to a video of Joe Buttons and the crew talking about quality control, the label selling their catalog for $300 million to Justin Bieber's manager, Scooter Braun. Before we do that, though, let's give you a word from Dizzle and Chip Fu.
Me and my team, whenever we link up, they gonna be drink up. We still gonna relax and have few glasses when there's things to think about. Like I'm nice with the boss when I tend to the bars, and I'm not talking drink ups. So tell the bartender that's tending the bar to please pass me a big cup up. And tell that waitress that's waiting on us to put a little ice in it. Now watch the ice become weightless like the spaceships that I be sitting in. Now wait and listen, no, they're waiting for that tropical twist that'll take a good taste buds. Now taste some. Now I insist it's the Dizzle.
That's right, Dizzle. Dizzle's a premium luxury liqueur mixed with agave tequila, French cognac, and orange liquor mango mix. Throw your Dizzle on ice, and it's nice. If you want to order your very own bottle or bottles of Dizzle premium luxury liqueur, go to dizzlebrand.com, click on our locations, click on one of the top 3 website links. Must be 21 and over. Shipping and handling is included. Below that is locations in Oklahoma, California, Arkansas, and Kansas as well, along with the Dizzle brand merch. Go to dizzlebrand.com, click on merchandise store, or go to etsy.com, search for Dizzle brand, or go to etsy.com/shop/Dizzle brand, etsy.com/shop/Dizzle brand. All right, let's get into it.
There's some more people stealing up here. Let me see. No, I don't see nobody else
Scooter
stealing
Braun.
right now. Scooter Braun ain't stealing.
Shit. We gonna see.
He paid
Let's
out.
talk about it.
He paid
We gonna
out.
see.
How you think
See
he's
what?
In 3 or 4 years, you're gonna be like, yo, he
tell
stole.
the people what we're talking
so
about.
Scooter Braun and his collective just bought QC's catalog for $300 million.
Mm-hmm.
So what I read, they said that Scooter Braun is behind.
Which is crazy because they've only been making music for like about a decade or less. Everybody else is selling their catalogs based on like 40 or 50 years worth of music. Let's go.
Or a part of the conglomerate that's just around here buying up everybody's shit. And they said a lot of it they think is related to the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're gonna start doing and how they're gonna start flipping niggas' catalogs in virtual space.
Okay.
I can see it.
And so I
Which basically means they're gonna sell the catalogs like through the metaverse digitally, kind of like they sell real estate in the metaverse, more likely.
think in 5-6 years we're gonna say he stole.
I find that weird for you to say that.
Oh, it's business. I mean, don't give me
Oh, okay.
no.
I'm about to say they whatever number that $300 million. They felt that hey, this is worth that. I signed off on that.
True.
So if he turn around and turn that into $3 billion,
Then you happy with your $300 million? I'm just saying. I don't think it's stealing. I was going with the joke, but I think that they know something that's coming down the pipe that everybody else is not really privy to, and that's why they buying.
I think he's right though, man. I think that everybody knows something on the inside that nobody else knows. There's somebody that's buying up all these catalogs that knows something everybody else don't know. Like, because streaming is so early in the game. I mean, it's only been a few years that streaming has been what it is. Everybody's selling these catalogs. Like I've said, I don't think this streaming thing is going to last as long as people think. I don't think it's going to last as long as people think, simply because the amount of money that they have to pay out on a daily for streaming royalties, not for unsigned artists and small indies, just the majors, man, they got to pay out a shit ton to. I just don't think it's a sustainable model. And labels and artists say it's not enough. They want more. Well, how much more is there to give? There's no way that Spotify is making like a profit off of monthly subscriptions, and they're paying out daily. Let's keep it
Everybody shit.
The internet was really in an uproar about this one. Is anyone here in an uproar or can explain the uproar to me? You sold your shit to a white man on Black History Month. Got it. But once you get past that,
congratulations to paying them. To
what
me.
is the
The black man that made $300 million plus whatever money they made over the last 7 years?
Right.
That's a lot.
That's a win.
What?
That's a
You
major
talking
win.
about
A win.
Yo.
A capital W.
Yeah.
Man,
Bold.
you're talking to people that will take the dinner.
That's true. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you can't
They'll
even
find
you
something
get-
to say.
They're gonna find something to say. They say they'll take the dinner.
Find something to say.
That's
So-
a huge congrats.
I feel like the internet is like in an uproar about this because the whole idea of like building a business that is like scalable and then selling it to, to white
to
interests.
someone who can buy it?
Well, yeah, exactly. But not keeping anything within the community in order to create institutional wealth, that feeds.
Bro, we have seen
Damn.
some.
Let me pump the brakes on this. See, this is the problem I have. Just to give you some clarity, Dizzle is a black-owned business. I'm like the only white face that really helps out and trying to build a Dizzle brand. But like, nobody on Dizzle sees black or white, man. We see green. That's the problem, man. You can't bring black and white into an equation that only involves green, the color green. And black and white is an American thing. Like you go overseas, they don't call them black people or white people. Let's keep it moving.
Some of these legends.
300 million.
We have
I
seen
know,
some
but-
of these legends like Bob Dylan and all these people selling their shit for like 400.
Willie
right?
Nelson and all them, right?
For 50, 60 years worth of fucking work.
If I'm Bob
Top
Dylan
level
right
work.
now, I'm selling
In
my
like
catalog
5 or
absolutely
6 or
because I'm alive
7,
for about
8
5 more years.
In 5 or 6 or 7 years, whatever it's been for QC, they sold for 300.
No,
Shit.
300. But don't forget,
On top
they
of the money they
made
bring.
money
Yeah, no
all
doubt.
of those
No doubt.
years.
That's a fucking win.
You just took 2 street dudes, allegedly. I don't want to throw nobody out there. And in 7 years, we damn near at $1 billion.
They're putting
In
up
7 years worth of work. We did. So now when you start talking about the institutional wealth, we can now take that. They can go do QC again. But now we can get into other arenas that we might not have been able to get into on a bigger scale.
I don't know.
Well, you're not the guy who would have anger over this.
No.
This is the problem I got when artists are so big on having the control over their music. Keyword is their music. This idea that each individual artist should have to sell it off for, institutional wealth. I got a problem when people, they just want to eat food off your table, but they don't bring nothing to the table. Bring something to the table. Bring a soda, bring some chips, bring a dessert. But it sounds like people wanting to eat off your success, your hard work, your determination, your ambition, when they ain't brought nothing to the table. Let's keep it moving.
If somebody came to you right now, right? I don't know what you put a worth on, but I'm gonna just throw a worth out and said, yo, for all of the rights to the Joe Budden podcast, I'm gonna give you $150 million, right?
What would you do?
You could, even if you took it or not, if you did take it, that 150 would open doors for Joe Budden as a mogul to do way other shit, way more shit. You could get into real estate developing over here. You could go to Africa and open up a media company. You could do just so much shit. You got so many branches that you could just go be even way more successful and hire more black people and put on more people than you could right now.
I could be wrong too, but didn't they also
I
maintain
could go to Africa and do that.
like a
They-
job?
They
at the
maintain some of the
like
control.
I think they still work there.
They
It's still they're I guess employees now. I don't know how that really works, but that's a win. I don't know,
Yeah, it's a
man.
win.
You get what I'm
That's a
saying? Like, so
super
I
win.
don't think that's a loss. You said I would stand in that.
I don't think we have the information in here to be able to call it a loss anyway.
Facts.
Like, I think from what was announced, I mean, it sounds like a win.
But you said that you know I would stand on that side. I'm asking you
Because I'm trying to find out what some of the beef is, and you're not the person that
what's
can
the
explain
beef?
that to me because of
People
everything that you
looking
just
at it.
explained.
People were looking at it as like a. Because I saw a couple people saying Master P and Baby would never, like y'all were the next that, and to now 7, 8 years in,
They say Master B is broke.
Let me pump the brakes. Keywords he says were the next that. I think it was smart. This is why the Migos is never going to be the same. Cause rest in peace to Takeoff. Takeoff was murdered. So Migos is never going to be the same. Takeoff was my favorite artist on the Migos. To me, he was the best rapper of the crew. They're never going to be the same. They're not as strong individually as they were as a collective. It's just not going to be the same. The Migos is not going to be the Migos without Takeoff. The City Girls catalog, it's not the Migos. Migos is like the DOS effects of this time, people say, because a lot of people jack their style, and I know a lot of people like DOS effects or other people. They get in a frenzy when people say the Migos are the DOS effects of their time. Well, that's because the DOS effects came out and everybody jacked their style. It's same thing with the Migos. There's a similarity to what happened. They both they come out. Everybody jacks their styles. That's all. That's what they're saying. That's why they said that Migos are the DOS effects at the time and whatnot. Amigos had a huge impact on the culture, have had a huge impact on the culture, but I just don't think it'd be the same now that Takeoff has passed away. The City Girls, I've never really cared to listen to their music at all. So I think it's smart. I think it's brilliant. I think it's genius. I don't think I think they've peaked all they could peak because of Takeoff passing away. I don't think the Migos can get any bigger without Takeoff. That's just my opinion. It's just not the same. It's just like, I'm not checking for Quavo music when Quavo's doing solos. I'm not checking for Offset music when Offset's doing solos. But when the Migos dropped the new record, oh, I had to check it. I was checking, Big fan of the Migos, man. And I think it's a win-win. I don't think they did it too soon. I think they did it just at the right time, just because of the passing of Takeoff. It's just Migos are never gonna be the same, man. They're never gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same. And people can say what they want about like Master P would never sell his or Baby wouldn't sell his. All due respect, the Baby's catalog, or not the Baby, but Birdman Baby, his catalog is probably getting a hell of a lot more plays than the No Limit catalog right now. I love No Limit, but a lot of those artists on No Limit, their catalog ain't getting no plays right now. Because No Limit, technically, all those albums were underground albums, independent, indie albums, underground albums. Like none of them really on a major label. I think he signed a 90-10 deal at the end, towards the end, but like 90-10 deal don't get you a ton of all it does is attach the major name brand onto your brand. That's really all it does, because at 90-10, I ain't giving you but so much money if I'm only getting 10% of the profits. I'm not investing with so much money if I'm only getting 10% of the profits. But let me hear a tad bit more what they had to say.
They saying Master P don't got a nickel to rub against each other. So maybe if he had done that 10, 15 years ago, he might be able to do this. I don't know.
Okay, but nobody was selling these catalogs, the whole catalogs like that 10 or 15 years ago. Not on the scale that they are now. Now everybody's selling these catalogs. And for the older cats, I mean, they're not making a lot of new music. All they're doing is touring the old music. They might as well sell up the catalog. They don't got too many, you know, kind of like Willie Nelson, man. Love him to death, man. Love Willie Nelson. But how many years Willie Nelson got? I mean, Willie Nelson even, I mean, let's look at Willie Nelson's age. Like, I mean, is Willie Nelson even still alive? I mean, Willie Nelson is old. All right, so Willie Nelson is, man, he's 89 years old. I mean, he's 89 years old. Like, how many years Willie Nelson got left? 5 or 10 years. So selling this catalog off, it don't mean much. I mean, he ain't even gonna be able to spend all that money in 5 or 10 years, probably. I mean, it's crazy. Willie Nelson was born April 29th. Okay, I was born April 9th. 19, what does that say? 33. Gosh. Yeah, I think it's a win-win. I think it's a win-win. Just because of my point of the Migos is really the catalog that they sold in here that's gonna make the shit ton of money for Scooter Braun. And the Migos is not gonna be the same going forward without Takeoff. I don't even know if there's gonna be another Migos album anytime soon. You know, you just had the Unk and Few album with Quavo and Takeoff right before that dropped, like right before Takeoff passed. You know, and Offset, he might work on a new album, but it's not like I'm gonna be running to go check for it. I don't think everybody's gonna be running to go check for it. You know, but the Migos together, that's the thing. Sometimes, you know, this strength in numbers thing, you know, is definitely applies to the Migos. To me, the Migos are stronger together than they ever were apart. And selling your catalog, not even a 10 years worth of catalog for 300 million. I mean, they could just, that's the thing, they could record more music and more catalog and sell that later as well, you know. So yeah, man. Win-win as far as I'm concerned. Once again, I want to thank you for tuning in Paul Pickett Podcast. And I'm out.